Well, you guys made it really easy for me in this post where you decided to talk about the nature of reality. And so, like I said, I'm just going to ramble on without even bullet points because the topic of the nature of reality is something that is fascinating from the standpoint of somebody who decides to investigate the nature of their being. You see, in consensus reality, we have been dealing with two main ideas regarding the nature of reality. Because we're curious humans and we like to investigate and to explore and experiment. So, in the physical world, we have been developing this science that talks about a substance that we call matter. But at some point we stopped looking for this substance. We realized that there is no such thing as a solid particle that exists like a Lego piece, that we piece all together and somehow we make the universe. We discovered this idea that, well, it is actually energy. And so that's where we stand today in terms of the physical. It's energy. Now, on the metaphysical side, we have thousands of years of also flirting with the idea that the world is made out of thoughts. So there is a etheric energy that we call thought, and thought creates reality. This is a little bit closer to the truth because thought is in the mind and mind is closer to what we call the essence of reality. These models just help to understand the patterns of activity. We can just call it that. There is simply activity. That's all we know. And we first need to make a division between mind and body to say there are two distinct things: physical world and metaphysical world, or body and mind. Yes, but we have to acknowledge that we need to make that distinction first. Without doing that distinction, for example, a baby has no idea of a body and a mind. It's just one field of experience, one field of activity, and it itself is immersed in this activity. So we have to go the route of the baby and start there and trash, for the moment, trash everything that we think we know about reality. Go back to the baby's mind or the primordial mind. It's accessible to us because all we have done is create layers and layers upon layers, like the classic onion example. Yes? All these layers, well, we can dispense of all of that. That's why I said trash it for now. It'll come back, don't worry. It always comes back. But it'll come back with a new perspective, a new view. So, for this we're going to take the journey into the self. Because 8 billion people on the planet are called the same. Everybody calls themselves I. So that means that there is a common factor in all of us that I refers to. Forget about the word I. Just manage to feel what I refers to. And if we take this route, it's not the physical or the metaphysical way. It's an investigation of that which precedes all experience. Because I have a body, I have a mind, I am in a world, I. Well, let's first explore who is this I? And why is it always in the middle of every experience? What do we find? This is what we call looking inside. There is no inside, of course. There is just the feeling of existence, of being. But okay, we can use that. Let's look inside this I. And when we do this investigation, we find that which I refer to as I, it's a sort of medium or space in which thoughts appear, sensations appear, perceptions in general are appearing and disappearing in this field, this medium space that we call I. Commonly you will hear this as awareness, and there is a reason why we call it awareness, because awareness is the same thing as I. It is the medium through which we know all activity, all experience. Now, the interesting thing is that when we hear that I am the universe, or you are the universe, our mind goes into skepticism by saying, I cannot be the universe because what I am is limited, which is a valid assumption. And we can investigate that. You see, the reason why this is impossible is because we first need to feel separate or limited, delimitations in ourselves. So it's true. What we perceive as a limited self cannot be the universe. Because the moment I limit myself as an identity, I create an infinite space or distance between me and everything else. But that's a wrong definition of what we say I. You see? That's what it's called sin. You're sinning. The original sin is to differentiate between up and down, left and right, good and bad, duality. That is the original sin. A sin meaning simply that you're wrong, you're missing the mark, you're missing the point, you're missing reality. So let's trash that too, because that's a concept, that's an idea that we are limited. It's based on perceptions. Perceptions are usually wrong. We know that. So we take this investigation into the nature of what we call I. Again, we can call it the inner path. I like that. I actually use that. And by looking into the nature of this I, we find that this medium space, field in which thoughts and feelings and perceptions and sensations are arising and falling. We see that this is preceding, and it's always there. There is no limit there. The moment I put a limit into it, I see an object appearing in this field. But the field itself is infinite. And in fact, it's even wrong to say that I look at the field, because as I alluded already, awareness and I is the same thing. And so awareness, when it looks at itself, it sees no limit. It sees itself as unlimited, infinite. But awareness has another quality, which is to be aware of things as well. So we can say, surely, that awareness is also identity. It identifies. And because of the nature of identity, it can identify itself with the object. That's a lot of fun. We do this with our imagination, don't we? The same thing. Imagination is awareness, or I. So resting in this understanding that which I am that which I call I, is in essence infinite, aware, then I begin to see that everything that arises in it is made out. Not only does it arise in itself and falls back into it, just like a wave in an ocean falls down into itself. The ocean arises and falls into itself. Same thing with awareness. Thoughts, feelings, everything arises. It's all constantly, it's just one movement, one activity. So not only does it arise and falls within itself, it's made out of the same substance as we try to explore at the beginning in the physical and metaphysical investigations of reality, but also that it is self-aware, meaning that that medium is aware of itself. This is the most amazing discovery that we can do in our lives. And as you can see, it doesn't require any advanced practice or some sort of special gift. It only requires that you are curious and that you direct that curiosity into an investigation of what else? Yourself. You have all the tools. So why not do it? If you're watching this video, of course you are interested in this. So why not do it? Try it out and let me know what happens. I'd love to know. That's all I wanted to share. Thank you for everybody that voted for this topic. And I'll probably put more polls like this so you guys can pick whatever you want me to ramble about. Have a great day, great night, whatever you are. I appreciate you for spending some time with me. And I'll see you in the next video. Namaskar.